Hey guys, welcome back to Beyond Dafeet. My name's Josh if you don't know so already, and in today's video we're going to be checking out two lightweight running shoes. We got the Saucony Kinvara 11 versus the Hoka One One Rincon. So which one's better, what are they both for, and what do you guys normally think about the shoes? Well, we're going to find out in this video. Let's jump into it. So let's start off. What are these shoes? They're a lightweight neutral running shoe. What's that mean? Well, you can use them for your 5, 10k, half marathon, even your full marathon. However, if you're going to spend a long period of time in these shoes, say for your full marathon, you probably don't want to be spending any more than 3 hours in them because they don't have as much cushioning as some other race day shoes or even as some other daily trainers in general. They're definitely the fastest shoes by both brands without having a carbon plate in them. Very responsive, very fast, very snappy, and they're not going to give you that as soft plush cushion feel as some of the other shoes you've seen featured on this channel before. However, both make that awesome fast running shoe, and if you're looking at doing your PB at the park run or even just wanting to improve your pace with your 1 kilometer intervals or 5, 10k intervals, these shoes are definitely a go-to shoe for you. Now, before we jump into what I think about both shoes, because you hear enough about that already, I want to tell you what the overall review is by everyone else. So you're not just getting my opinion, you're getting pretty much everyone. So did a bit of research. If we're looking at the Hoka One One Rincon, most people actually said it's one of the best fitting Hokas they've seen or have felt. It kind of takes you back to that original Clifton 1, Clifton 2 kind of feel, where it wraps around the foot really nicely and it fits the foot really well. There's not too much under the foot, but at the same time you still got that meta rocker that bounces you forward, that nice soft plush feel, but still very responsive. Runners also did pretty much rave about the midsole and the Rincon. They said it was nice and soft enough that you'd bounce into the shoe, but then also get that nice bounce back. Very, very responsive. None of that kind of sluggish feel. So if you're used to running in the Cliftons or the Bondis and you feel like you sink too much in the shoe and don't get an energized snap back, or the shoes feel a bit heavy on the feet, then pretty much reviews by everyone else said that the Rincon feels a lot faster, lighter, and definitely a much more efficient shoe overall. So what did people have to say about the Saucony Kinvara 11? Well, because it's quite a new shoe, there wasn't actually too many reviews out. So I pretty much went and stalked other YouTube runners and see what they say. Kafuzi pretty much said he loved the shoe. Gave him that nice snappy rotation, so it felt like you could get your legs ticking over quite quickly.
I didn't have to worry about a thing at all. I love running in this shoe. It's comfortable landing, and I was able to still keep the leg turnover relatively high.
Believe in the run. He pretty much said it was a Swiss Army knife. You can use it pretty much for everything. For those 5, 10k marathon, race day, daily training. He loves this shoe and raved about it as well.
Can't really beat this one. It's like a Swiss Army knife for shoes. It can handle all your tasks and leave you feeling good afterwards.
What people complain about in both these shoes are the outer sole and just the overall durability. So if we look at the outer sole to start with, both shoes have minimal rubber in your higher abrasive areas. The Rincon does use that little bit of rubber at the heel and then also that forefoot, a bit more exposed EVA throughout that midfoot area. Now the Saucony Kinvara 11 has had that same abrasive pad at your heel and your forefoot for quite a while now. Pretty much they haven't changed that up a whole lot at all in comparison to last season's one. So, and obviously with minimal rubber you get a really lightweight, nice, fast shoe underfoot. But with that, obviously there's going to be more wear. So any bad points I've seen about reviews on both of these shoes was that people are only getting 300, 400, 500 Ks out of them. Some people said they got 600 Ks out of them, but honestly that's what you expect out of a lightweight fast trainer. That's how it's supposed to be, because you do have a lot of exposed EVA underneath. With that you get that nice snappy feeling underneath the foot, but at an expense. Any brand can make a shoe that lasts 2000 Ks, but it's going to feel like a brick. So therefore, with that lightweight feel on the foot, you do have that durability issue in both shoes. Let's check out the midsole. So with the Rincon, we do have that early stage meta rocker running throughout. So if you do heel strike in this shoe, it will propel you forward onto your toes and kind of get that fast feeling going again. Quite a smooth transition from heel to forefoot in this shoe. We look at the Kinvara, it is a much more kind of full ground contact feel on the foot. However, because the shoe is so light and just responsive and fast in general, when you do run in the shoe, it does feel like you're on your midfoot or on your toes. So the Kinvara gets the legs rotating quite fast underneath the body, and that's what you want. With the midsoles in both shoes, I would say that the Rincon feels a little soft. You definitely sink into the shoe a little bit more, but at the same time, it's not that sink in feel and you're fighting to get out of it. It does bounce you back quite quickly. It's just a standard EVA midsole. Kinvara, we're looking at that Power Run, so that's the new cushioning system they iterated into the shoe. Power Run plus top sole on the shoe, so that gives you that initial soft feeling when you first put the shoe on. In no way are either of these shoes kind of plush and cushion. They do bounce you back quite fast, and as a result of that, when you initially first put them on, you might be like, oh, they feel a bit firm. Well, that's what they're supposed to be. They're supposed to be fast, snappy, responsive, and that's what you get out of both midsoles, and they both do it quite well. Both Saucony and Hoka have hit the nail on the head with these guys. Pretty much the upper wraps around like a second sock. If we look at the Rincon, it is a little bit more of that single layered engineered mesh, so it's not double layered, it is very breathable, and you can move your toes quite nicely in that upper, dialed in that midfoot area, and the heel counter does lock you in quite nicely, as Jamie would like. It has a massive pull tag on the back, which makes it quite suitable for triathlons. If we compare that over to the Kinvara, double layered engineered mesh wrapping around the foot, your tongue definitely has a little bit more cushioning and definitely a lot more padding wrapping around that heel counter as well. Your heel counter is a little bit higher in the Kinvara in comparison to the Rincon. Both shoes do have that little lace loop on your tongue, so the tongue shouldn't move around too much side to side. Running in the Kinvara myself at the moment, I love the overall fit and feel of the shoe. Probably one of the more dialed in shoes I have seen by Saucony. It really wraps around the foot quite nicely. There's not too much room in the toe box, but at the same time it doesn't pinch up your toes. With the Rincon, the fit and feel does work quite well. Looking at the reviews as well, a lot of people said with other Hokas it kind of pressed on their toe a little bit. With this one though, they did have that little bit extra room. Both shoes being seamless, and with that 3D engineering wrapping around both shoes, it does create for that nice fit and feel throughout their entire life of the shoe. Alright, so now we've covered like the shoes in general. What's the biggest difference between the two shoes? Well, if you look at the Rincon, your foot actually sits quite deep into this midsole, kind of giving that added stability element to the shoe. So your foot does sit in there a little bit deeper, and as that lightweight speed shoe, it does still give your foot somewhat of a guidance with that meta rocker. Now, if we look at the Kinvara, the shoe itself is a lot more flexible at the toe off, and you definitely don't sink into the shoe as much. The Rincon feels a little bit softer, where I'd say the Kinvara feels a little bit faster, and as a result a little bit more responsive, but initially it is a little bit more firm underfoot. So why would you pick up these two shoes? Well, they'd fit in your rotation quite easily as that fast shoe. So if you just want to go run a fast 5, 10k, even that half marathon, both these shoes would work well. Yes, they can be used for daily training, but I wouldn't over recommend it unless you got a good wallet, because you are going to go through the outsoles quite quickly in these shoes with not having much rubber on the foot. But that's pretty much what makes them so lightweight and responsive, is the fact that they don't have much rubber, and for the amount of midsole on the foot with the weight, you do get enough cushioning for such a lightweight shoe. So if you're used to running in the Triumph and you want something a little bit faster and a bit more responsive, I'd put yourself in the Kinvara. Same if you've been in the Clifton or the Bondi and you feel like you're sinking into the shoe too much and you want something more responsive for that faster 5 or 10k run, pick up yourself a pair of Rincons. They do work quite well. Personally, I'd go the Kinvara, because if I wanted that bit more of a rocker, soft feel underfoot, I'd pick myself up a pair of Cliftons, and it would just last me an extra 600 kilometers in the shoe instead of getting about 500 kilometers out of a Rincon. However, if you feel like Clifton is too soft for your foot, then by all means pick up the Rincon, and that's your faster, lighter Clifton essentially, and that can be your fast shoe. And then if you do want that race day shoe, then pick up a pair of Carbon X's, or just something with the carbon plate in it, and then you're gonna be off and away you go. Yeah, I think that pretty much wraps it up. If you have any questions at all, make sure you let us know in the comments. We'll be happy to answer all of them. We'll definitely have a comparison between the Kinvara, New Freedom coming up quite shortly, as well as plenty of other shoes. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on the bell, make sure you smash the likes for this video, and thanks very much for tuning in. Until next time, catch you later.